Hello everyone, it's Schmidt Dude here and welcome back to my video series on Milsim within Arma 3. If you haven't seen the first two videos yet, you can click on the first one here, which talks about fire teams and squads, or you can click on the second one here, which introduces the rifleman position. Alright, without further ado, let's get into today's topic, which will showcase the Grenadier role. Now, the Grenadier's role within a fire team is very important, and they can easily change the tide of a firefight with the effective use of HE or smoke, and even flare rounds from their M203 grenade launchers that are attached to their M4 rifles. A Grenadier's primary responsibility is to support the fire team with providing indirect fire, fire suppression, or either marking targets or masking areas. While Grenadiers do provide some explosive firepower to the team and are great against enemy infantry particularly, they can also be very effective in other aspects such as an area attack or area denial. Now, as a Grenadier, you want to use the HE, which is high explosive, or smoke rounds to your advantage. Area attack or area denial works by placing accurate rounds on particular locations to either provide explosive damage directly onto enemy locations, or by restricting enemy movement to certain areas due to the threat of grenade fire. This is best noted in the case of attacking enemies in defilade, covered positions, or dug in positions that standard small arm fires can't reach. A grenadier can arc their rounds to attack the places that bullets may not be able to hit. A few well-placed rounds of HE to certain locations can effectively deny the enemy freedom of movement, keeping them pinned in a certain location, which allows for the rest of your fire team or squad to kill off the enemy or perform successful flanking maneuvers. Smoke rounds particularly are very good for marking targets or areas of interest. They could be used to mask movement of friendly forces, or used to mark the location of enemy forces and confuse the enemy by surrounding them in smoke, while the rest of your fire team or squad can lay down fire in that smoked out area. Grenadiers can also be very effective at disabling or destroying enemy light armor or vehicles. Simply disabling the tracks or the wheels of a vehicle can lead to the enemy dismounting their troops and allowing your teammates to pick off the dismounted. A Grenadier's loadout will differ from the regular rifleman's loadout due to the nature of their specific responsibility. Generally, I would recommend a Grenadier carry roughly 10 rounds of HEDP, 4 red smoke rounds, and 4 white smoke rounds. HEDP stands for High Explosive Dual Purpose Rounds, which means that the grenades provide an explosive punch for armor, but also fragmentation effect for against infantry. So as you can see, HEDP is very important for a Grenadier to carry in order to stay versatile against enemy infantry or armor that you may come across. The M4 rifle itself that you carry is similar to the Rifleman's M4, except with the attachment of the M203 or the M320 grenade launcher under the barrel. Since the grenade rounds fly in a different trajectory from a bullet, you'll need to get used to using the grenade launcher sights that's located on the M4, along with eyeballing or hip firing rounds. The grenade launchers generally only have a maximum range of only 400 meters, so that is something you'll want to remember and take into account when using them. As for the variety of types of ammunition that you can use for the grenade launcher, there are a few different types that is possible. HE stands for high explosive, which is good solely for infantry targets. HEDP, as mentioned before, is the combination of fragmentation and penetration, making it ideal for all-purpose round that can target vehicles or infantry. Smoke rounds are perfect for marking targets or masking areas. I would suggest you carry white smoke to mask friendlies and red smoke to mark enemy positions. If you have room, you can carry other colors too if needed, but it's not necessary. And finally, for nighttime, you can also use flares for illumination of the immediate area around you. Good for providing temporary light to a dark area and spotting enemy forces. But be careful because you will give away your own position too. They can also be useful for signaling during day or nighttime operations where radio communications are not possible and traditional methods are required. If you want to avoid giving away your own position, you can use IR flares, which produce a bright light only visible through NVGs. So as long as the enemy forces don't carry night vision goggles, this would be a good alternative to the regular flare illumination rounds. The Grenadier is also often a more experienced member of the team, and most commonly the second in command. This is due to the higher probability of the team leader being killed in Arma. Thus, if the team leader goes down, the Grenadier is immediately in the middle position of the unit, making it easier to take command. The Grenadier also has within their possession many of the same marking techniques and weapons as the team leader, allowing them to quickly and accurately direct their fires. During assault and bounding movements, the Grenadier is partially responsible for the riflemen as well due to their proximity. Thus, they will act as a buddy team and should keep tabs on the riflemen to alleviate stress on the team leader, ensuring the rifleman is moving when necessary, isn't getting lost, and generally is doing what is right. Keeping tabs on the rifleman also helps to add as an introduction to leadership, allowing Grenadiers to gain experience before moving on to team leader positions. Alright, well that is all there really is to know about the Grenadier role within a fire team. It is important to know that the Grenadier slot is not just a slot for you to use the M203 offensively to attack enemy forces. It can also be used in many supporting ways that can help the guys around you, whether that's covering their movement with smoke, marking the enemy with smoke, assisting in unit signaling, or illuminating the battlefield with a well-timed flare round. So that brings me to the end of this video about being a Grenadier. I hope this video helps you and you learned something new about carrying the grenade launcher out on patrol. Be sure to keep an eye out for the next video in which I'll go over the real firepower of the fire team, the automatic rifleman. Alright, we'll see you later guys.